All right. Welcome. It's 12 o'clock Eastern Time. It's Jorge Jimenez here from Arcade to Earn. I got a cool star-studded lineup here. I'm really excited about. Also excited that we are kind of, once again, primetime TV, I always like to say when we're at 12 o'clock. And so I got to, my right over here is Kazi, the CIO for Arcade. Right below me, the CMO for Cryptowalkers, Shay, and Kevin. I will let you do your intro because I'm a little off. I don't want to butcher it or mess it up, but I'll let everybody kind of go for like 10, 20 seconds and give everybody's intro. Just excited to be able to talk about the future of gaming on the blockchain. I think this is probably one of the most exciting conversations in the summit, especially because of all the attention GameFi is getting this year. And I think we could kind of say, like, with everything going on in the market, this is going to be GameFi is what's going to help carry the market going into 2022. So I'll kick it off, Kevin. Go with your 10, 20-second pitch, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Yeah, my name is Kevin Jones. I'm a developer advocate for open source tooling, specifically for a tool called Scaffold ETH, which is basically a platform to help developers build quickly on Ethereum. And I'm also a kind of a stealth startup founder for Shutterblock.io, which is basically a content creator platform to be able to launch NFTs and basically get paid for your work on an NFT platform, as opposed to something like stock video, stock photography website, where they take a large chunk of royalties.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And I'm sure we'll dive into it and talk about a little bit of how you're working in this space as well. Kazi, you want to give a couple second intro?
Thanks for having me on. And I'm Kazi Zolani. I am the Chief Investment Officer for Arcade. And what we essentially do is we invest in different NFT assets that are typically utilized within different gaming or metaverse environments. And the concept is we allow our gaming guilds or esports players to kind of use those assets, and then they kind of share some of the rewards with our community and our token holders. So that's like a little quick explanation on what we do. And I think we just lost Jorge, or his connection bugged on him.
Yeah, Jorge.
Yeah. Shay, maybe you can do an intro.
For sure. Hey everyone, I'm Shay, CMO for Cryptowalkers. Welcome back, Jorge.
Sorry about that. Weird. My Wi-Fi might have went off. So yeah. Shay, go for it.
Yeah. So Cryptowalkers is a metaverse-ready collection. We're an NFT collection. We've got about 6,000 something avatars. We have an upcoming play-to-earn game in the metaverse. We also have Walker World coming up, and we're going to have a subsequent land sale. And I don't know if I know Arcade has seen clips of our gameplay, but our game is looking sick. We're building it on Unreal Engine 5. And yeah, this space really excites me.
Yeah, no, I think Kazi and I are really excited about Cryptowalkers. I think a good percentage of our personal funds or net worth is in Cryptowalkers. So I know we're very bullish on AAA quality games. So we're excited that you're even sharing the space with us, and we're excited to learn more about what got you into this space. I mean, like, what brought you to the blockchain, the GameFi blockchain space? Because I know you and I have had several talks, and I think you and I have almost similar backgrounds in almost the sense of, like, we're not gamers, right? And so, but we're in this space, and I think we're with the two most exciting projects right now in this space. So I would like to hear what brought you into this space.
Yeah. My journey and perspective into the space has been kind of unique because I've gotten into blockchain gaming and play to earn by way of NFTs and Web3 and metaverse and investing. Because traditionally I'm not a gamer. I wish I had a gaming background, and I know that there's a good group of people who do have a gaming background in this space. And it's something that I finally, now that I'm in the space, like, I finally understand the allure because I have a younger brother. He's a teenager. He's been an avid gamer his whole life. And always kind of just growing up, like observing him like on his headset and like making moves and strategies and plays and stuff with his friends, like trying to figure out the best way to beat the game. And I think like Web3 and NFTs in the metaverse really kind of exposed me to that camaraderie. And like we are able to be strategic with the NFTs that we purchase. And I think there's the community element of it. Cryptowalkers has a really strong community, and it's cool to kind of, I think the difference between, and why I'm almost happy that I'm getting into gaming this way and by way of NFTs and Web3 is because you can have such an impact on the game before it even kind of launches by building lore and stuff. And so that's my background is more in crypto and investing and stuff like that. But blockchain gaming and GameFi really, really excites me because you've got the opportunity to make money and have fun with your friends and have a huge impact on kind of what the game and the community ends up being.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I think this kind of will go to my next question, because it's great to hear the way that you're getting into this space, right? And so like I'll turn it over to like Kazi or Kevin, and like, what do you think we need to do to get more mass adoption, right, in GameFi and be sustainable in this space? As you hear, Shay's coming from a different world, and I think that's what we're trying to do now is bring more people and more awareness to this play to earn space that is still kind of like, people are still like, wait, I'm earning money by playing video games, and people don't really like, haven't been able to really like comprehend that, right? And yet we see like so much money coming into GameFi. I mean, VCs are just pouring money into this space. So Kevin or Kazi, I guess whoever wants to take the lead on it and expand on that, I'd love to hear your thoughts and your questions or answers to that.
I think oh, go ahead, Kazi. You go first.
Okay, sure. Okay, all right. So I think a big part of it is just an education gap, because people don't understand the space. And I think the bigger problem is the people that are interested in this space are more of your investors, like so early on, because it's like the cutting edge of like finance and gaming and technology, all of it, right? So I think most of the people who are interested in this space are more of your investor types who might be interested in gaming also, but like you said, VCs, hedge funds, it's crazy interest, right? And I don't think they're able to properly translate why this is cool to gamers who just want to play games to have fun, right? But then when you actually like sit down with like, I've like, it's always about the kids, right? Like the high school generation, because I think, any kind of investment strategy, like I've always been like, well, what are the kids making their parents buy for Christmas? Like that's going to go up, numbers going to go up. That's like a basic way I've always looked at things. So look at the kids that are in like, even if you have like a toddler or like a 5-year-old, they're playing Roblox or whatever on your parents' iPhones, right? So they're already like being like indoctrinated into like gaming at such a young age that this stuff is just going to make sense for them. But I think the main thing of growing the space now and scaling up is allowing like your normal gamers, your traditional gamers, to understand why it's important. Because when you sit down with someone and say, well, how much money did you spend on like a battle pass, or like you've been playing Call of Duty for like 5 years and you're one of those users that has like the season 1 skin, right, that nobody else has, although like Call of Duty has gone on for so long. If you're joining now, you don't have like those early skins, right? So that kind of makes you like an OG in the space. And when people like encounter those players online, it's just like, whoa, it's like a wow effect. But when you say, well, shouldn't you be able to monetize that? Every gamer is like, yeah, holy shit, like I never thought of it that way. So I think it's because our people like ourselves are like kind of approaching it and explaining it to people like, oh yeah, you can do this and you're gonna do this to get money. I don't think that's the actual proper way to go about it. It should be play and earn. Like earning should be a bonus of playing, because playing is fun, right? And I think that's why we're looking at games like Cryptowalkers and like some other titles, because they look fun. Like I'm like, oh, even if no one told me I was gonna earn anything, just looking at this game, I'm like, oh, this shit looks fun, right? So I think that's like the main thing. A lot of the early games, or a lot of the play and earn games right now, I think they're like placeholders for the cool stuff that's coming. It's just like a transitory phase, but like the people that see the big picture, typically are going to be your investor types because they're always forward looking. That's why there's so much attention in this space, because, like Microsoft, they're buying Activision for like $69 billion or something, right? So like you have your investor types that are seeing what's happening, but time, it's about time. But Kevin, I'd love to hear what you say.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're 100% right. It's education and like people actually understanding the industry and the benefits of something like gaming on the blockchain. And I also think that there's a little bit of a hurdle that we need to get over from a technical standpoint, from a building standpoint. Me coming from a development background, things like cross-chain support for gaming, things like making it easier and more transparent for the user. So they don't need to have understanding of how wallets work and private keys and secret phrases and all this stuff. Similar to what we see with hotshots. Where an experience for hotshots is, hey, you log on, you create your account with Dapper, and it's kind of transparent, all the crypto stuff. So I think the more that we get away from like the complexities of like what's involved with blockchain gaming, and we get more into the experience for the user, I think it's going to accelerate it even more and more. And like the cool stuff that's going on, and being built in the like Cryptowalkers and the newer games that are kind of planned, are really going to kind of showcase that kind of next era of gaming, right? And hopefully it does drive up the industry and kind of drive up kind of adoption in the Ethereum ecosystem and stuff like that. All crypto ecosystem.
Yeah. And so, like, you guys hit on some, like, Kevin, you just hit on something, right? Like the Ethereum ecosystem, right? And Shay, Cryptowalkers is building on what chain?
Ethereum.
Ethereum, right? And Kazi Arcade is building on Solana.
Yeah, we're building on Solana.
Yep. And so, Kevin, you have an ETH background. So I almost go into my next question is like, we're these chains, right? And as we were trying to talk about mass adoption, like, how do we get to the level of, we understand, how to first of all load, if it's the simplicity as of loading onto the Phantom wallet or onto the MetaMask, or if it's on the of the Binance chain, like, there's so many games now building on their own different chains, and I think that might be another hurdle, right? Because as you're bringing on non-crypto folks, they're already, first of all, crypto itself is always going to be something that they're going to be like skeptical about, and now they have to go from, like, if they're going to play Star Atlas on Solana, or they want to go play Cryptowalkers and Ethereum, like the cross chain, right? And so, like, I know Kazi, I know I've heard you talk about this before, and so I almost like bring it back to Kevin and Kazi, since you guys are kind of like almost Kevin, you're a developer in the sense. Like, what are you thinking? Like, how do we build this to become again the cross chain support for the adoption to GameFi, right?
Yeah, I think it comes down to, again, as I was mentioned before, like more transparency, or less transparency from the technical standpoint, right? Like the consumer of the game or the user of the game really doesn't need to know what chain you're on. That's the end goal. I think if we can get gaming to that, you pull up PlayStation Network on your PlayStation and you put a PlayStation game in, you don't know what's going on in the background, right? You're just playing your game. You're playing your game. You have a profile, maybe you put in, I don't know, Doom 3, and that's running on Ethereum's, network. And then you put in, Call of Duty, and that's running on Binance Smart Chain, right? It doesn't matter. I think if we can get away from that extraction and not have to make the user do, too much from a technical perspective, and then we can start on the backbone building cross-chain support, where these kind of like applications can kind of like benefit each other, or I should say the utility of the play to earn game can benefit each other in some kind of cross-chain network. And I think that's cross-chain is the future, because there's all these chains, and I think all of them there's plenty of space for all of them in the ecosystem. It's just a matter of bridging the gaps for certain use cases. So that's my thought.
Yeah, Kazi, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I think he hit it on the mark. I think different chains serve different use cases. I think for like a DeFi protocol that's moving billions of dollars, Ethereum makes sense, right? You're willing to pay the extra fees, wait a little bit longer, but your security is your primary goal, right? For gaming, I mean, you want speed and you want it to essentially be free. That's where I think like things like Solana, Immutable X, they're trying to fix those barriers. You know what I mean? There's even projects like like if you go into like non-fungible labs, they're even like bringing in their own SensNet, their own layer 2, but they have a pretty big ecosystem where it makes sense. And let's see how that goes. But I think those are the solutions that are needed. And like because we're like Arcade, we're building on Solana, but we're chain agnostic, right? We have assets on pretty much every single chain you could think of, but we're thinking of our own protocol as like a kind of like a game essentially, where people are going to be clicking this button to withdraw and then deposit again, like maybe two or three times a day, depending on what their interests are. And for that, like it doesn't make sense for anything that is high user input to be expensive, because it defeats the purpose of even half of these things existing. So I think those are the reasons. But I think what we're seeing in a lot of games, like we were on the call with the meta ops team yesterday, and they basically have implemented wallet functions within their game. So you don't even know you're in like a blockchain game, or you're interacting with the wallet. Solana makes that stuff kind of a little bit easier because they're able to plug into like Unity and all of that. But I see the same kind of developments happening across all chains. But I think it's difficult on ETH because depending on what's going on in the network, it can vary immensely. Like what we saw with like the other side deeds land sale. I mean, that was insane, right? But at the same time, Ethereum has the advantages of so many layer 2 solutions that are simultaneously building. You have Arbitrum, Optimism, like Avalanche. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of things.
So I have to ask, like, so and I'll give it to you again, Kaz and Kevin, before I go to Shay. Is so Kaz, as a CIO, and you're mentioning some of the your thoughts on the way that you think of like interoperability and everything we're talking about, cross chain and all that. When you're looking at these games to invest in, right? What is it that you're looking for on a future term that you want the game to have? So that you could be comfortable investing in this game.
Yeah, I think there's a few things. Interoperability is one of them, because I think in the Web3 gaming space, and we're kind of going into a new version of gaming where it could be like a game is actually built on like a bigger ecosystem, which you consider like a game world or a metaverse, right? So it might be like within that game, and this is just me like all in my head, but let's say you're in like this kind of like metaverse environment, and then you walk up to this building that is a racing game. I see this stuff going that in that direction, right? So if that's the future of how games are going to be developed and like kind of distributed, it's these gaming platforms are essentially going to become like social media platforms. And if you look at it that way, then they need to communicate with each other. People that have built up like a reputation like on Instagram, right? They want to be able to share their Instagram profile with their Twitter account or Facebook account pretty easily, right? I think games are going to become like, or the concept of metaverses, they're going to become almost like a social media hub, and they need to be able to communicate with each other. And I know right now, with different chains, it makes it a little difficult. Again, I'll go back to Solana and Wormhole. Like, I'm not a developer, by the way, so this stuff, kind of goes over my head. But I do understand that, they are trying to build things where through the Wormhole bridge, you can have Ethereum smart contract interact with a Solana smart contract. And these are like the kind of innovations that are kind of pushing it forward. And I'm pretty sure Kevin can, school us all in this topic, because, that's his area, right?
Yeah, it's definitely true. Like the whole cross-chain idea, where you're playing a game, you're earning on this particular platform, and you want to kind of like showcase that with another kind of chain or something like that. That is definitely, and like you said, the social media aspect I think is very crucial to Sorry, I cut out there for a second. The social media aspect is definitely very important to me from a gaming perspective because I want to play with my friends, right? I've been a gamer since, the 80s without showing my age too much, but it was always about kind of like playing with your friends and stuff like that. So I think you're 100% right there too. Kazi is the social media aspect.
Yeah, and I now put on my marketing hat, right? And I'm gonna switch over to Shay. Like, as you hear all this, and I'll tell you, like, on a marketing hat from my angle of, who am I trying to target, right? And I think, like, when we were just spoke about like sustainability, we talked about interoperability, we talked about certain criterias, and I think about like gaming in the traditional world, right? Esports being kind of like a stupid amount of money that goes into that, right? And we're trying to grow our space in GameFi. And as a marketing person, I'm trying to think like, how do I target all this, right? How do I tie all this into like everything that they're saying into visuals, right? Into visuals and 30-second commercials, into 90-second commercials, trailers, or any type of marketing, right? I mean, luckily, Shay, I mean, you have these beautiful Cryptowalkers that are like so like they hit the eye, right? I mean, I think your job is a lot easier because they're so attractive, right? But now, like, what are you thinking? Like, your next steps are going to be as you guys you're mentioning you're developing a game and everything, and I'm sure the game is going to have its own. But what are you thinking? Like, again, like, and you come from a different background, which is a great question to ask you. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was kind of just saying this the other day to the team, but I honestly like we're positioned so well as a play to earn game and an NFT collection. Just the high profile partnerships we've got coming up, the ones we've already secured, the friendships and connections we have in the space with incredible teams like Arcade, the strategy that we're putting into our game development, the really strong, loyal core community that we have. It's honestly going to make my job kind of easy in the sense of just visibility and being positioned well. And like, I don't have to work super hard to sell our strengths because it's very obvious in the sea of like, we're in this market where there's so many like rug pulls and PFP projects and projects that are not really, like in it for the long haul. And we're so fortunate to be privy to and be part of and be building like an ecosystem we're building with a very like long-term vision in mind. And so even with like bear markets and the market sentiment that has come up even the last few days, like it doesn't, we have very like strong conviction plays and visions. And so we're not really rattled by it. One thing so that's the part that's easy. The part that I want to, I guess, leverage more and pay more attention to as a marketer. So for example, we're launching our female collection over the summer, which is super, super exciting. And I really want to activate the values of kind of just like and reach sort of like the forever underserved market of female gamers, for example, and kind of bring more people into the space and activate like diversity and inclusion and female representation and representation for underrepresented groups in general through our female collection and the partnerships that we're targeting and kind of the different campaigns and stuff we're running through with that. But that's something I think, like you said earlier, crypto, decentralized finance, like some of these things can be very like intimidating, I think, and there's groups of people that don't even have exposure to that. And so I think that NFTs and GameFi and blockchain gaming and play to earn and Web3, it almost demystifies that and makes it easier to it breaks down the barrier of entry and makes it easier to get in. And so that's something that I'm going to be thinking about in terms of like challenges, like how can I reach that group of people? And because first, before we even can onboard them into our collection and our game and our ecosystem, we have to onboard them onto Web3 and NFTs. And so those are some groups of people and things and challenges that I'm going to be looking at and trying to tackle as a marketer for Cryptowalkers.
I think Jorge
is froze.
Okay.
Yep.
Lost connection. Down.
Yeah,
So
I think he's
I
in a
guess
hotel right now.
yeah, while we wait for him, I mean, what are you guys most excited about in the next year? Like, I'm just curious, kind of what do you see come in? And obviously the bear market's kind of a downturn for us, but I think everyone's excited about building. So what are you guys
Yeah,
excited
I'm
about?
honestly, I think I mean, obviously bear markets aren't that fun, but I think it was kind of needed at the same time because just too many things that are popping up that like it's just kind of. I think we need a consolidation into the good projects. You know what I mean? I think the market is just like all over the place, and a lot of teams that are really, really building and trying to deliver or whatever, they're getting overlooked because it's just like a hype cycle when people are just trying to find the next Moonbird or the next Bored Ape or whatever it is. And I think a consolidation is healthy, and I might actually be looking forward to that a little bit. Other than that, just because we're because of Arcade and we're talking to so many projects and seeing what they're building and how far they've already come, and they've just been like laying low. I'm like, I can't talk about the things I'm excited about, but there are a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of cool stuff coming. It's just a waiting game. As far as the market sentiment, the market's going to do what it's going to do. We can't really control it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm back. I apologize.
Hey, welcome back.
I'm in the Airbnb, and this is fun. So I'm sorry if I missed whatever, but I with the interest of time, it looks like it's already 12:30. So
Cutting out again. I think we lost him again.
before we wrap it up, and so I think my last question is going to be, where do you see again the space in the next couple of years, and what is it that's the most exciting about the space in the next couple of years that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go what I'm most excited about. For me, it's the current kind of like the last few years, COVID has just been kind of a real downturn in terms of like working together and stuff like that. But I think it really accelerated gaming, and I also think it really accelerated blockchain innovation and crypto in the sense that people are able to still kind of work together and build. Regardless of where you're at. And so I think for me, it's exciting to see that people are starting to come together. I was just in ETH Amsterdam, and to see all the hackers come together and start actually building and creating solutions and kind of like just thriving, after COVID is really cool for me. So I'm really excited to see what happens in the next couple years from a development standpoint. On multiple projects, but I'm really just excited that we're going to get over this hump of COVID and kind of just keep building and growing the communities. I think that's really important. How about you, Shay?
Yeah, I definitely really want to echo that. I think I'm excited to play a lot of the games that are coming out, and just keep building strong communities, and really see some continue to build upon the ecosystems that we're all part of, and really see some of the visions and games and everything come to life, and just keep getting exposure to the space. Like whether it's like gaming guilds or just different ways that we're going to activate our play to earn game. It's been really exciting for me because as I mentioned, I'm not a traditional gamer and I don't have a gaming background, and so I'm having a lot of fun. And just kind of looking at different games and even just getting exposed to different chains. And Arcade has been incredible, kind of helping me get exposed to that space some more too. And just excited to keep building Cryptowalkers. We've got our female collection coming up over the summer. We're building our game. And the stuff that I'm really, really excited about, I can't talk about. But yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just jump in. Just from a technical standpoint, we're like at a crossroads of like augmented reality, AI, gaming, and finance. I mean, it's just crazy, right? So this is the kind of like the stuff that us nerds were like getting excited about while we were like in high school or whatever. So it's like happening now, and it's just like, oh, it's like that meme. It's finally happening, right? So that's what I'm excited about. Just all this like technical developments that are now, because of blockchain and NFTs, they're coming into a crossroads of working with each other, where all these years they've been like their own industries.
Yeah, it's amazing how there's all these little silos in crypto, right? It used to just be like, oh, okay, everyone was talking about tokens, and now I think with NFTs really helped that explode, right? The utility that comes with NFTs has just helped everything kind of like get scaled up, right, around us. So that's great. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you guys wanted to add to, or anything? Maybe this is the moment to show your project.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm back. I've been rugged a couple times from this Wi-Fi Airbnb, but I do want to add one or two questions.
Hey, Jorge, you're breaking up a little bit, Jorge. Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Catch that? Yep, better. Yep, better.
I think.
Yeah, just the question that from Sa, what's there's coming things major.
Just type it.
I think Josh said he's going to chime in and ask a question.
Chat. I don't know if you guys could see.
Yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in chat. I think that's probably the best thing here. Oh, I'm gonna try to go to NFT NYC. I'm excited about that. So hope it happens.
Yeah, if you're coming, then let's definitely get together, because we're gonna be there.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. So the question is, how you guys view the economic impact of play to earn, and what role it will play in sustainability? Either one of you guys want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think economic impact. Maybe in the States, it doesn't matter to us, because we'll go out and have like a beer that costs $10, right? But that same $10 in like a country like the Philippines, Indonesia. I'm from Bangladesh, even over there, that goes a long way, right? So I think the economic impacts are maybe not within our neighboring areas, but on a global scale, it's going to uplift a lot of neighborhoods and families, and I think that could only have like positive effects in the long run.
How about you, Shay?
Yeah, 100%. I really relate to that with being like first generation, and my parents being immigrants from Pakistan and Iran too, and having family there. And like, I think just even having a teenage brother that's in gaming, but not in crypto, but getting him over, like bringing him over to the side with Web3 and NFTs. And it's, he's 17, turning 18 and over the summer. And now with play to earn and GameFi and like decentralized finance and Web3 and NFTs and everything being mixed in, he's got an opportunity to start making an income before he even goes to college. And so I think just I think we're really early, and I think we're pioneers in this space, and we're kind of building the sustainability model as we speak. So.
Yeah, I think it's great. The gaming aspect is just going to kind of bring everyone, closer to the crypto community and in general in blockchain technology. So I think it's going to be really great to see that. And I think as far as sustainability, I think that a lot of the industry is moving on ways to, do things that are currently maybe not sustainable, moving towards renewable energy sources, things like mining initiatives, changing to sharding and layer 2 on Ethereum. So I think there's a lot of promising outlook when it comes to, the trends in the industry. So yeah, I'm excited for sure on that. So I think just so everyone knows, I think if anyone wants to reach out to me, I'm available on Twitter. My username is _crypto_mastery. And I'm happy to have any conversations from a technical standpoint if you guys have anything. What about you guys? How can people reach you?
Yeah, same. I think Twitter is the best way. My username is our handle is Jetlag Trading @Jetlag Trading, one word. And also for Arcade, it's Arcade to Earn, the number 2 earn, all in one word. So you can follow us both. Arcade, we do a lot of gaming Twitter spaces almost on a weekly basis. So even if you don't care about Arcade and you just want to kind of be up to date in the gaming space, we're always trying to get games and new projects in front of people, even if we're associated with them or not. So definitely give us a follow.
Sorry about that. I've just been getting rugged by the Airbnb Wi-Fi, but yeah, I just kind of want. I don't know if everybody got to say who they were and how to follow. I think I think the cool part about this NFT summit is that we have a lot of professionals on here, right, that are watching, right, as well. And so, I think LinkedIn has become another source for a lot of NFT and crypto talk on a professional level, almost, versus where on Twitter we get to be more of jokesters and whatnot. So I would love to make sure that the audience could connect with everybody through LinkedIn and Twitter to see both sides of what's happening on a more business and more business formality, and then also on Twitter where we're sharing more of the opinions and personal opinions and what you like personally, right? Whereas LinkedIn, we're sharing it on a professional and a business standpoint. So I think that's very important. I think I see a lot of you guys dropping in on the chat, and so I kind of wanted to thank GDA Capital and NFT Basel. I think I know the Arcade team and Cryptowalkers will be in NFT NYC. I know Kazi and I will be at Permissionless next week in Palm Beach. There is a pretty cool thing that we're going to be doing in Palm Beach with doing some live panels that are on the spot, talking to people in this space and talking more about what's attracting them, kind of what this whole summit is. And so I encourage anybody that's in this crowd that wants to connect with us further and talk further, share spaces. Anybody that wants to do Twitter spaces, Kevin, I'll open it to you too. That maybe if you want to hop on one night to do a Twitter space together and continue these kind of conversations, I would love it, because like we mentioned, education is such key to all this, that it's so important that people like us are being able to be leaders in the space and educate others about what we're seeing or what we're hearing, and we have teams behind us. So and I think I missed Shay. Shay, I apologize. Did you not get to share your socials and give your 10-second speech? Go for it, and then we'll end the call.
Yeah, no worries. I think the socials are in the chat too, but yeah, I'm the Shay Show on Twitter and across pretty much all socials, and Cryptowalkers is Walkers Crypto on Twitter, and you can join our Discord server, and our website is cryptowalkers.io, and we're going to be at NFT NYC as well, and it's going to be right around the time of our female collection and our female drop, so that'll be really exciting. And also just wanted to plug and say that where if you're a woman in Web3 or kind of a female gamer or just somebody who's passionate about underrepresented spaces, we're starting a Twitter Spaces series around that. And so if you want to chat about any type of collaboration or be on our spaces, feel free to reach out.
And that's awesome. Exactly what this title was, the future of gaming on the blockchain. I think it's so important that you're trying to connect, women to come on and empower more, because I think it's very much needed. And I think, anything that I know on the Arcade level or the GDA Capital or NFT Basel, that if we could help, please let us know. How do we share the good word? I know that once you post your next event that you're going to have a space, I'll share it, and I'll share it with everybody within this community. But more power to you to doing that. I'm very excited and looking forward to it. And so I end this summit, the future of gaming on the blockchain. I think we had an awesome conversation today, even though I got, Wi-Fi's a little spotty, but I look forward to the next summit and talking more about gaming and seeing where we are right next time. I think the last time that a lot of things have happened since that time. So I'm excited for the next one. So thank you, GDA Capital and NFT Basel for putting this together. See you later, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.